So I recently taught a lesson to a couple of my clients that I'm working with to help them expand their organizational enterprise. And I thought that this lesson was so good that I needed to at least share it with you and our social media community. Now, this lesson is based on what we call the 5 millionaire must-haves. Now, when we start talking about becoming a millionaire, there are different levels to that, because you can literally have one business that's generating a certain amount of net profits in an industry that has a higher enough valuation that the one business in and of itself can have a net worth of $1 million and can give you the bandwidth to not only get working capital, lines of credit, but to give you the bandwidth to actually acquire other businesses so that you can increase your net worth. Of course, you can just have $1 million sitting in the bank, but I guarantee you this: if you have ever or will ever talk to millionaires, here's something you're going to find out. Most millionaires, whether they are millionaires in terms of liquid cash or millionaires in terms of net worth or business enterprise value, most millionaires, they ain't just sitting around with a whole bunch of liquid cash sitting in the bank. The reason why is because what made them millionaires is them having the understanding of things like the 5 things that I'm going to be talking to you about. And if you want to become a millionaire, whether it's liquid cash millionaire, net worth millionaire, business enterprise value millionaire, you slice it and dice it the way you want to. Here are the 5 millionaire must-haves. Number 1, you must have a target. Point blank period. And I guarantee you this: talk to any millionaire or billionaire. Having a target is not about having a target for $1 million. Because the moment you make $1 million, whether it's generating $1 million of revenue in your business, whether it's just having $1 million of liquid cash sitting in the bank, whatever it is, once you make it, you're going to realize you had the wrong target. You're going to realize it just wasn't enough, because really nothing substantially changes in your life when you generate $1 million. And again, just talk to other millionaires, do your research, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So you must have a target. So when I say target, I want you to look at the target as having a mission, having a vision, having a purpose, something so big that you can quantify it. You've got to quantify this target with numbers. You got to quantify this target with a dollar amount. For example, if you do want to be a millionaire, even if it's a net worth millionaire, well, you may need enough money or enough revenue generating in your business or a revenue value in your enterprise that exceeds $10 million just to feel comfortable as a millionaire. So that means your target is going to be 10 million or 20 or 100 or a billion. And then when you start reverse engineering that mathematical equation to practical actions that you have to take, you're going to realize that it was way better having a higher target than just the target of becoming a millionaire. Okay? And remember, when it comes to your target, it's always money over mechanics. It's always money over mechanics, meaning that, let's say if 10 M's is your target, even though you know coming back here, you just want it to have a net worth of 1 M, you don't want to get caught up on the mechanics to get to 10 M, because what's going to happen is you start thinking about the mechanics, you're going to give up. You're going to get disappointed. You're going to get discouraged. So it's money over mechanics. Stick to the target, stick to the numbers, stick to the dollars. And then when you reverse engineer it with mechanics, you're not putting the mechanics over the money. You're sticking to the target. Okay. Number 2, you must create urgency. You must create urgency. In other words, you have to have what I call, because I'm a preacherpreneur, I call it prophetic paranoia. That's what I call it, prophetic paranoia. I use the word prophetic as an adjective because anything that's prophetic is futuristic in nature. So when you have prophetic paranoia, you really anticipate the inevitable. You know something bad's gonna happen. You know something's gonna go wrong. You anticipate COVID. You anticipate recession. You anticipate 3 or 4 things going bad that you didn't necessarily plan for, but you knew it was going to happen. This is urgency, because what happens to people who have big targets and who are pursuing those types of $1 million, $1 billion targets, they have such a sense of urgency. They ain't got time to waste. They're not just, fiddling around, playing small, petty games. They are on a mission. And there's an urgency to the point that you almost think that they're not even focused on today. They definitely not focused on the past. They're focused on the future. And they're not just focused on the future with that target. They're focused on getting so much that they out-create the problems that they know will inevitably show up, okay? Number 3, you must prioritize. You must prioritize. What do you mean prioritize? You have to prioritize your time. You got to prioritize your talents, your energies, your efforts. You got to prioritize your treasures. That means you got to prioritize your money. Like, I have several businesses at this point under my holding company in my portfolio. And I have partnerships. I have relationships with strategic alliances. I got a lot of things going on, and I'm telling you, I prioritize my time. I prioritize my energy and my efforts and my resources and my money. I'm going to put all my money back into some vehicle, some mechanism, whether it's a partnership, a strategic alliance, whether it's an opportunity, a relationship, a business, an asset, because I know what my priorities are. My priorities are not the fact that I just made money today. My priority is I have a target, and I need to get to my target, and I have urgency. And so prioritizing your time, your talents, and your treasures is very, very important. Okay, so number 4, you must delay gratification. Now, this is something that I don't always do well. It's as hard as anything else to do. And when I say delay gratification, you're putting off. You're putting off. You're putting off. You're not running off, but you're putting off, meaning that there are things that I know I may be able to do today that I choose not to do today because I haven't reached my target. Now, again, I don't always delay gratification. There are certain things that I have done with money that every day I think about those things that I did with money. I literally remind myself how stupid that was. So we all make stupid decisions. We want to minimize those stupid decisions and become as skilled and as disciplined and developed as we possibly can to delay gratification. So what are some examples? Well, when I make a little money, I'm not going to go out and buy the nicest car, the biggest house, the biggest piece of jewelry, the nicest clothes. Now, I want to live a quality life, but I don't want to live a quality life at the expense of not reaching my target. And again, there are some people who are more disciplined in delayed gratification than others, probably to a fault. But I'm telling you, I wish I would not have done some of the dumb things I did had I allowed myself to become more disciplined with delayed gratification. All right. And number 5, you must commit to collaboration. This is so critical. Commit to collaboration. Nobody becomes a millionaire alone. And I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say nobody. I mean, of course, somebody can hit the lottery just buying a scratch off themselves. I'm sure somebody could just start a business and hustle and put an e-commerce store up. We know there's some exceptions to that general rule, but I would prefer for you to think from the perspective that I need to be committed to collaboration. And even the people who do it alone, they're still doing it with systems and virtual assistants and companies that are assisting them, or even with their customers and clients, which are people. But I want you to be intentional about committing to collaboration. because you could get way further with people than you can alone. I tell entrepreneurs this all the time. This is one of the reasons why I was having this session with my clients, because I want them to understand in today's world, we're talking about 2025 and beyond, you don't even have to start a business. All you have to do is find people who have businesses like you want to start and figure out some JV, some strategic alliance, or develop some type of partnership or revenue agreement. You don't even have to start the business. You just have to commit to collaboration with the type of business you want to start. Think about it. You put all this time and energy to start this one business, but just in your area, there may be 100 of those same businesses that exist today. So instead of going through all this trouble to start one, why don't you reach out to the 100 business owners who have the same type of business or similar business or complementary business to the one, and figure out how many of those 100 people are willing to do some type of JV, strategic alliance, partnership with you. It changes everything. You might find 2 or 3 people who are like, listen, I'm on my way out. So we can work something for me to get a cut, for you to get a cut, and for you to start taking it and transitioning it to the next level. And they're not at zero, and you're starting yours at zero, but it's all about committing to collaboration. So I consider these like the 5 millionaire must-haves. You must have a target, you must have urgency, prioritize, you must delay gratification, and you must commit to collaboration. So if there's anything my team and I can do, just in case you don't know, I'm the CEO of RP Capital. This is our private equity firm. We offer strategic advisory services, financial advisory, business advisory, investment advisory for our clients, and we'll be more than happy to offer a complimentary advisory session for you. Just click the link in the description, reach out to us. My team and I will be more than happy to jump on a strategy call to see what we can do to help you along the way. I'll see you in the next video.